If you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard this stat many times. More than 70 people are moving to the Triangle region of North Carolina every single day, and everyone has their own reason for why. There are hundreds of surveys and stats out there about those whys, but I actually work with these people relocating to the Triangle region every single day. So in this video, I wanted to share what I'm seeing firsthand. From wanting to be closer to family and better weather to retirement and quality of life, let's explore the motivation behind my clients' most recent moves. But before we do that, my name is Matt Martin, and I'm a Raleigh-based realtor. I've helped tons of clients just like you relocate to the Triangle region of North Carolina, and if you're looking to do the same, I'd love to help you too. So to make this video, I looked at my last 30 clients, and what I found was pretty surprising. First off, 87% of my buyer clients have been relocations from other states. Altogether, they've come from 14 different states, with nearly a quarter of them hailing from New York. Another 4 came from California and 4 from Illinois, namely the greater Chicago area, and then 2 from each of Virginia, Colorado, Massachusetts, and Texas. So I have a lot of firsthand stories, and across these 30 clients, there are 6 main drivers for the move. The top reason my clients are moving here is to be closer to family, be it family that's originally from here or to follow family that has recently moved to the area and is loving the lifestyle. I have one client who moved here from Austin, only to be followed shortly thereafter by her parents from the Chicago area, and now her sister is moving down from Boston. A couple years ago, I helped a wonderful couple move here, also from Chicago, and then it wasn't long until they shared their love of the area with the rest of the family, and last year, I helped her daughter and son-in-law and her parents buy a home here, and they actually went under contract on the same day. So how's that for some fate? Then in the last few weeks, I've gotten multiple calls from people looking to move here because of family. A past client of mine's mom wants to be here to be closer to her grandchild. Then another is considering a move from Tennessee for their grandchild. And my first closing this year was a couple looking for a second home in Wendell to stay in while visiting their son and new granddaughter. I'm telling you, once people move here and tell their family how great it is, it doesn't take long for others to follow suit. The next biggest reason my clients have been moving here is for the cost of living. Now, this is one I see a lot from my California, New York, and Florida buyers, which shouldn't come as much of a surprise. While I've only had one Florida buyer recently, it's where I get the most calls from lately. So I definitely expect that percentage to grow in the coming year. And what do they all have in common that's driving them out of Florida? The cost of home insurance. Yes, there are other reasons, including overcrowding and even politics, but everyone mentions the cost of home insurance. In fact, according to the Insurance Information Institute, homeowners insurance has increased 102% in the last 3 years in Florida and costs 3 times more than the national average. That puts the average annual premium in Florida at a staggering $6,000 versus here in Raleigh at around $1,700, or more than 3 times cheaper. Then you have California, which has just become too cost prohibitive for many, especially those just getting started in their careers or those living on fixed incomes. The Triangle region of North Carolina offers these buyers a lot more bang for their buck. If we just look at housing costs, the median single-family home in Raleigh, North Carolina, as of February 2025, was around $515,000. Compare that to Los Angeles at $1.325 million, San Diego at $1.3 million, and San Francisco at almost $1.6 million. And that's saying nothing of the property taxes that are due every year on top of those purchase prices. So it's just too much for most people. But cost of living is more than just home prices and insurance. It's also things like groceries. And since everyone is talking about the price of eggs right now, I can get a dozen organic eggs from Wegmans for about $5.50. In Florida, the average is $6.36, and California is sitting at $6.05. Then there's gas. North Carolina has some of the cheapest gas in the country, around $2.80 a gallon as of March 2025. Compare that to $3 in Florida, and wait for it, nearly $4.70 a gallon in California. Another big reason people are moving here is for the weather. Okay, so maybe not the Californians, but almost everyone else is looking to leave some extreme or another for more temperate weather here. The Northerners are tired of their 6-month winters and shoveling snow. The Texans can't bear another summer with weeks of triple-digit temperatures. And Floridians want to experience 4 seasons. In fact, we've seen a trend in what we refer to as halfbackers moving here. Those are Northerners who moved to Florida for the warm weather, only to realize that while they didn't miss the 6 months of winter, they still missed the seasons. So they move halfway back up, landing smack dab in the Raleigh, North Carolina area. So what can you expect from the weather here? Honestly, a little bit of everything. Yes, our summers are hot and humid, but they don't last nearly as long as places like Texas and Florida, and we rarely see triple-digit days. In fact, I had a couple from Austin call me last year saying they couldn't take another Texas summer after 10 years of living there. They moved here in June, just in time for what would turn out to be one of the hottest and driest summers in Raleigh's recent memory, and they laughed at how mild it was compared to Austin. Then our winters get down into the 20s and 30s, and we even get about 4 inches of snow per year on average, but the worst of winter only lasts a couple months. We moved here from New York City, and one of the biggest things that we grew tired of were the winters dragging into April. Here in Raleigh, January and February are the brunt of it, and by March, we're back up into the 60s on average. Then fall and spring are beautiful, but I will warn you, if you have allergies, this may not be the best place for you. For about 3 weeks each April, the entire city will be covered in a not-so-thin layer of pollen. Everything from the sidewalks to your deck to your car, minutes after washing it. It's pretty surreal to witness if you've never lived through it. Then another big driver for my clients isn't anything specific, but rather just a lifestyle or quality of life change. This one really registered with us when we were deciding to move here from New York City. Yes, the city had become too expensive, but it was also too crowded, too noisy, too aggro. One of my clients who moved here from Austin said that they just wanted a city that felt more like a community, and they felt that the first time they came here. Another couple I worked with from Florida had experienced explosive growth in Fort Myers, and they just wanted somewhere that was easier to get around and calmer. And next week, I'm helping a couple coming from Denver close on a new townhome here. Both are originally from Ohio and just never felt like Denver was home. They felt more connected to the East Coast, but they didn't want extreme weather, and they were drawn to the greenery and beauty of Raleigh. Oh, and her parents also just relocated here. The Triangle has so many things to offer. We have incredible access to the outdoors, from our 150-plus mile greenway network and beautiful lakes and parks to our proximity to the beach and mountains, just 2 hours to the nearest beach and 3 hours to the insanely beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. The people here are incredibly nice, and I tell anyone visiting that they'll be hard-pressed to not have someone strike up a conversation with them while they're out and about. You never hear horns honking, traffic is way better than other major cities, and we still have amazing access to great food, museums, top-tier institutions of education and healthcare, and a strong economy. All these contribute to a great overall quality of life. I've also worked with quite a few clients who have moved to the Raleigh area for job opportunities, whether it be a job they're already coming with or the prospect of getting a great job here. The bulk of these clients have worked in the life sciences or medical fields. One works for a medical device sales company, another for mega superconductor manufacturer Wolfspeed, and then another who moved here for a job with Pfizer. And funny enough, I've had 2 clients who work in the fuel industry who were specifically scoping out North Carolina as a territory to expand into for their gas stations due to our explosive growth. And it's no surprise people move here for job opportunities. As I just mentioned, we have a really strong economy. In fact, last year we were named the #4 fastest growing large economy in the country. This was fueled by huge investments by megatech and life science companies like Fujifilm, Amgen, and Novo Nordisk, and by our booming construction industry. It should come as no surprise then that our unemployment rate of 3% is a full point lower than the national average, and our median income of $80,000 when adjusted for cost of living was just ranked the 4th highest of the 50 state capitals. And the last reason many of my clients have moved to the region is for retirement. Now, this one kind of blends together with multiple categories from above. Some of these retirees are also moving here to be closer to family or for the reasonable cost of living to accommodate their fixed incomes. But it's definitely not just my clients who are moving here for retirement, as evidenced by the boom in 55-plus communities that we've seen popping up all over the region. These active adult communities have historically not had a huge presence in the Triangle, but that's all changed in the last decade as more and more retirees have made their way to North Carolina. We now have somewhere in the range of 50 such communities, and they're all about easy living, with mostly main floor living, low maintenance yards that are often taken care of by the HOA, tons of activities for residents, everything from bingo to pottery to wine nights, and a wide range of amenities like pools, pickleball courts, walking trails, and more. So they truly live up to the active in the name. And you can find a whole video I made on the topic right here. So those are the top 6 reasons my recent clients have cited for moving to the Triangle region of North Carolina. What stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're ready to kick off your home hunt in the Triangle region of North Carolina, I'd love to be your guide. You can reach me by phone, email, or text, and you can find all my contact information in the link below or by scanning this QR code right here with your phone. And if you liked this video, I have a whole catalog of others all about moving to, living in, and buying real estate in and around Raleigh, North Carolina. Here's another one here that you may like, so give it a click to keep on watching.